Hello again, adventurers! Welcome back to Critical Role Adventures, a new cooperative version of the Codenames game from Czech Games Edition, in which players have heroes and they use these heroes to make their guesses, because these heroes have various skills and special abilities, and the following two videos will focus on these heroes and their skills and special abilities. In the first one, we will cover first three heroes that are recommended for your first campaign. So it's Nott / Veth, Grog and Vex'ahlia. And in the second video, we'll cover all the remaining heroes. So without any further ado, let's get started, and we'll start with Nott / Veth. Veth is a halfling rogue afflicted with the cursed form of a goblin. When in this goblin form, she goes by the name Nott. This hero always starts the campaign as Nott, but with some diligence and some luck, you can break the curse and turn Nott back into Veth. Veth can usually be found hiding in shadows, taking shots at a distance with a crossbow, and always has her flask of whiskey ready for a boost of courage. In both forms, she naturally evades damage, which is quite useful for her because she starts the campaign with only one heart token. And she needs 14 experience points for an option to unlock another one. As Nott, she has this nimble ability which says that the first time each mission she takes a damage from any source, another hero must take that damage. This is mandatory, it is not optional. So thematically, being nimble, she evades that damage, but then that damage is absorbed by another hero. When Veth is restored, she becomes lucky, and with this ability, she doesn't take the damage from the first grey word she guesses during each mission. Note that no other hero takes that damage. This damage is completely avoided. And furthermore, the party can continue guessing. As per the standard rules, when you guess a grey word, your guessing phase is immediately over. So with this lucky ability, not only Veth completely avoids the damage, and no other hero takes that damage, but you can continue guessing. So this is a great ability. Now let me show you how you get to that ability. In order to change Nott back into Veth, you have to lift the curse. You do that by rolling 1 or 20, so when any hero rolls a natural 1, it has to be 1 on the die, without any modifiers. You can mark this 1 space, and anytime any hero rolls a natural 20, so this symbol, again, without any modifiers, you can cross out this 20 space, and when both of these spaces are crossed out, Nott turns immediately into Veth. So replace this Nott standee with the Veth standee. From that moment on, you use the lucky ability, and Veth remains as Veth until the end of the campaign. Now let's take a look at these unlockable abilities. The first one is called Serendipity, and it can be unlocked fairly soon. And you can use this ability after Nott's or Veth's guess is resolved. So roll the die, add any modifiers, including the modifiers on items if you have any, and then based on the total value, the Game Master tells you how many spaces around Nott or Veth, around meaning like this, are gold or gold and grey. So when the total result is 12 to 19, you learn how many spaces around Nott or Veth are gold. So here there are 2 gold words around Nott. Again, you can use these deduction tokens. When the total number is 20 or more, the Game Master tells you the total number of gold words and also the total number of grey words separately. So here we have 1, 2, 3 grey words around Nott. So again, you can take the deduction tokens and place 3 of them on this word. And when the total number, so the die value plus any modifiers, is less than 12, then you learn nothing. Then the second ability is called Silver Lining, and it actually takes a while until you unlock this one. and when you unlock it, it has this red background, which means you can use it only once per mission, and this one can be used specifically at the start of each mission. To use it, place a coin on these 4 spaces indicated on the grid. So in our example, it's these 4 words. Then again, roll the die, add the value of any modifiers, and now the rest is up to the Game Master. First, the Game Master removes one of those coins. For example, this one. And then based on the total number, so again the number plus any modifiers, the Game Master tells you how many words with the coin are gray if the value is 13 or less, burgundy if the value is 14 to 19 including, or gray and burgundy separately if the value is 20 or more. So here the coins are on gray, gray and the burgundy word. Again, you can use these deduction tokens. If the total value would be 20, the Game Master would say 2 gray and 1 burgundy. So that's why you roll the die first, so that the Game Master can see what the total value is, and based on that total value, the Game Master decides which coin will be removed, so that the information is as helpful as possible for the players. Furthermore, when any hero steps on the word with a coin, that hero claims the coin, and the coin goes to the map, to the party treasury. Only after that the guess is resolved, so the Game Master can use this strategically. Maybe the words with the coins are bad words and you should avoid them. Maybe those words are good words if you get a low number or even 0 from the Game Master. And maybe that's where you should go, you should collect those coins, and those words are probably gold. So these kind of mind games are what makes Codenames so much fun. And basically that's it. That's all about Nott Veth. And now let's move to Grog. Grog Strongjaw, also known as the Grand Poobah, the doink of all of this and that, the sum, is the epitome of the classic saying all brawn and no brain. Incredibly muscular and bearded, thanks to his belt of Dorwan kind, he's fiercely protective of his friends, especially Pike Trickfoot and his brother in misadventure, Scanlan Shorthold. When not adventuring, or when people are off shopping, Grog can be found brawling in taverns and indulging in his one true love, ale. Grog starts the campaign with 3 heart tokens and gets to the 4th one very quickly, so players should not be afraid to take some damage with Grog, because for each damaged heart he adds +2 to any die roll. Although he starts the campaign with the -4 modifier. With the first improvement it goes to -2 and then from -2 to +2, so this is a 4 points improvement with a second upgrade. Now the first ability is called Twin Fury. He can unlock that ability quite soon and it can be used before Grog makes the guess. To use it, simply roll the die, again add any modifiers, and then based on the total value you can either use the corresponding roll or you can completely ignore that result and guess normally. By guessing normally, I mean you completely ignore that ability. You roll the die, you look at the number, you look at the total result, and if it's too low, you say, no, thank you, I don't want it, I don't use it, and I'm just going to guess this word. If it is high enough, based on the total value, Grog takes the corresponding number of damage. So, for example, if the total number would be between 15 and 27, Grog takes 1 damage, so one of the heart token is damaged, and now he points at 2 different words. Then the Game Master consults the key card and decides which of those words will be the Grog's guess. So in this example, the Game Master will probably choose the intelligence word, and that's the chosen word by Grog. The Game Master doesn't say anything about the other word, no hints, no clues, nothing whatsoever, as if that word wasn't even chosen by Grog. So if the total value is way too low and Grog would suffer too much damage, you can ignore it, you don't use that ability, and you simply say, I guess this word. Okay, let's move on to the second ability called Face First. This can be used after the Grog's guess is resolved, whether the correct or incorrect, after that guess is resolved. So let's say the Grog chooses this word. It is a burgundy word, so the Game Master covers it with a burgundy tile. Grog takes the damage. The guessing phase is over. However, Grog can use this Face First ability. The Game Master covers one gold word around Grog if possible. We have already learned what around means. So let's say the Game Master chooses this word. And based on the total value, the Game Master counts the uncovered grey and burgundy words around Grog, and Grog takes that much damage. With a higher value, the Game Master only counts the uncovered grey words, and Grog takes that much damage. The game uses the terminology covered and uncovered. By covered, it means that the word is already covered by a tile. If it is uncovered, it means it is not yet covered by any tile. So in this situation, this is already covered. So there is only one burgundy word which is uncovered and one grey word which is uncovered. So Grog would take 2 damage. With the higher value, only the grey words count. So there's only one uncovered grey word. So Grog would suffer 1 damage. Anyway, in both of these cases, Grog would be knocked out. So let me remind you that using these abilities is always optional. However, in Grog's case, the first ability, there is no reason not to use it, because if you don't like the die roll, if the total value is too low, you can simply ignore it. So you can always use that one. With the other one, you have to be careful. One last note, when determining which words are gold, blue, grey, burgundy or black, always refer to the mission-specific rules, because some of the rules may change that. For example, blue words may count also as gold, and that may affect the abilities of our heroes as well. So keep that in mind. So that's pretty much all you need to know about Grog. Don't forget that at the start of each mission, Grog heals 1 damage. And we can proceed to the last hero of this video, Vex'ahlia. Vex'ahlia, the unofficial treasurer for Vox Machina, twin to her brother Baxildon. Vex'ahlia, or Vex for short, can be frugal to a fault, so much so that not even the party knows how much gold they have in the coffers. She is a loyal ally and she puts the family first, including her loyal bear companion, Trinket, who she raised from a cub. Trinket is often kept inside the crystal of Vex's magical amulet for easy transportation and protection, for if Trinket falls unconscious, he's instantly transported into the safety of the amulet. Trinket may also guess, but only once per round, but he's not required to guess. Even if you guess with Trinket, all the main heroes have to guess at least once before any of them would be allowed to make a second guess. Then, any experience tokens Trinket gains go to Vex directly, and since Trinket doesn't have any heart tokens, when he takes damage by guessing incorrectly, you lose Trinket for the rest of the mission, so put the standee somewhere aside. He's not dead, he's just unconscious, and you will get him back at the start of the next mission. However, unlike the main heroes, when Trinket falls unconscious, he doesn't end the mission, so you continue playing. Remember, when any of the main heroes is knocked out, you lose the mission immediately. With Trinket, that's not the case, you continue playing. Now, let's take a look at the Vex'ahlia's abilities. The first one is called Tracking. You can use it after the Vex's guess is resolved. And I need to emphasize here that it is after Vex's guess is resolved, not after the trinket's guess. Again, that guess can be correct or incorrect, it doesn't matter. Then roll the die, add any modifiers, and then based on the total value, the Game Master tells you whether the black word is around Vex. So here, black word is around Vex, so you can use this deduction token. If, for example, she guessed this word, you can use the other side of the deduction token to indicate that the black word is not around her current position. When the total result is 20 or more, you also learn the size of the same color cluster Vex is currently standing on. A cluster is a group of words of the same color which are all orthogonally connected. In this case, this is the cluster of only one card, but it's still a cluster. So the Game Master would tell you 1, and with that you know there are no other blue words around her current position. If Vex was here, then the cluster contains 4 gold words, so the Game Master would tell you 4. And that means that one of these 2 words must be a gold word, because 3 of those words have already been covered with these gold tiles, so there's only 1 more remaining. Another example, this is a cluster of 2 burgundy words, these are 2 grey words, and so on. Again, make sure to factor in any mission-specific rules. For example, if blue words would count as gold for any intents and purposes, then the size of this cluster would be 5, because blue counts as gold. Then the second ability is another once per mission ability. It's called Long Shot, and it will actually take a long time until you unlock that ability. You can use that ability anytime, but only once per mission. And by any time I mean you can use it after the Game Master gives you a clue, or before you make a guess, right before you make that guess, or after you make a guess, or even at the start of the mission. So, when you decide to use it, point at one word in the grid and then roll the die. So, let's say I will point at this word, and then after you roll the die and add any modifiers, the Game Master tells you if you pointed at the black word without covering it, and if yes, you add 20 to the die roll, to the total result, and then resolve the corresponding row based on that total result. So Vex either takes 2 damage, or the Game Master covers any 1 or any 2 gold words. So if you point to a word which is a black word, and Game Master tells you yes, you can mark that word with this deduction token. The Game Master doesn't cover it with the black tile, you don't lose the mission, and Game Master covers any 1 or any 2 gold words. And there are several ways how to use this ability. For example, if you have some deduction tokens already on the grid, indicating that one of these 3 words will be a black word, because Vex used tracking before, you can use the Long Shot ability and try to guess one of these 3 words to be the black word. If you guess correctly, as a reward you get 1 or even 2 gold words from the Game Master, and that may help you complete the mission. Note that even if you don't point at the black word and you don't get this bonus of plus 20 to your total value, if you roll a high number with any modifiers, you can still achieve that the Game Master will cover at least 1 gold tile and Vex will avoid this 2 damage. So that's all you need to know about Vex, and that's all you need to know about all 3 main heroes which are recommended for your first campaign. And when you successfully complete that campaign, come back for the second video in which we cover the remaining heroes of the game. And until then, have an amazing time playing Codenames Critical Role Adventures.